So growing up then around, like a lot of kids and family and in Mustang, do you get into, obviously you work in architecture now. Are you interested in architecture at a young age, or are you interested in sport? Like, what was your kind of high school and stuff like that?
When I was young, sorry, I'm getting over a cold, so
Sorry.
I might be clearing my throat a lot, but I was really interested in fashion. I was interested in design. I was really meticulous. My son came to me the other day, he's 10, and told me that he needed to spend some time rearranging his room, and I was like, I know where that came from. I spent most of my time studying makeup, hair, indoor. I was an indoor girl for sure, and but I also found myself being really engineering minded. So I was like the fix-it person in the family. Out of the 6 kids and my parents, I was the only one that ever really did much of that. And so I think that's how my mind was wired. And I was also really pretty artistic and creative. And so all of those things sort of led me to both of my career directions, which I feel like are they coincide nicely.
Yeah, definitely. So growing up with kind of like the love of fashion and kind of cosmetics and stuff like that, when you're growing up and you follow your dad with your height, so people, when you as a kid you stand out, right, because you're a lot taller, especially as a female. Is the eye on, I want to get into modeling or doing shows or fashion, or from like a middle to high school age before you go into college?
I can track back to kindergarten,
really
wanting to model.
Okay.
It's ironic because who knew if I would actually be able to?
Right.
But even my kindergarten teacher, which I randomly ran into a couple years ago, she actually identified my daughter and recognized my daughter and remembered me.
That's awesome.
I know, random, but. Anyway, as early as kindergarten, I was really interested in the fashion industry, and my family could not be further from that. And so it was sort of my own endeavor. Yeah. And then the architecture came a little bit later. I would say I kind of put all of those pieces together in my mind around high school age for that. But very much still focused on the fashion side, and that was what I pursued first.
Yeah. So you start modeling, and then you get picked up and noticed, and people start coming to you and saying, hey, let's go, we would like to hire you and be a model. And that whole process as you're going through high school? It
is a very ambiguous industry. And growing up in rural Oklahoma, clearly there's not a lot of opportunity. Also being one of 6 kids, I was not the focus of my parents' lives. And so if I wanted to get somewhere, I was going to have to pursue it. So I really sort of followed my own heart, if you will, and somehow the cards aligned. I did a pageant, in my late teen years, the Miss Teen Oklahoma USA pageant, did well with that, ended up finding a local agent that I started doing some local work here. But it was when I graduated high school, some girlfriends of mine and I went down to Dallas just to shop, and of course the cliche, got scouted in the mall, and next thing I know, I'm in New York and signing in Germany and Miami Beach, and
life takes off from that point.
Yeah, it's sort of taking off. However, I didn't really feel like I had a huge idea of where exactly I was headed. I was just kind of like, okay, this is, for the first time in my life, I'm doing something that I feel like I'm really, really good at, and I'm really passionate about. And so I was just kind of riding the wave. Yeah,
you're like, the timing's great. This, I've got, why not? This, I'm passionate about this. Let's go all in. And you get thrown into, put in that world, and now you're traveling. You have contracts. You have, like I said, you're getting signed everywhere. And I can't imagine what it's like going from Mustang growing up to going to New York, right at the in your late teens. And
I was ready.
Yeah,
I was so ready.
That's so good.
No, I was like ready to get out and spread my wings and go take on the world. To be honest, I don't know where that came from. But
back to like growing up and being one of the oldest and having to figure out stuff on your own. I guess that's why you're probably ready, right? Because you weren't like, Mom, Dad, will you come with me? Like, you were like, no. I can do this.
There was no way I was going to get that kind of guidance, so I knew that it needed to be my own initiative. But I think I was also a little bit more driven than maybe my siblings were growing up, and just wanted different things. And it was certainly of my own doing. It was never an influence of my family at all. It was just like an individual passion I just had innately.